On the news tonight, Senate President condemns abduction of secondary school students in Samara State as rescue operations begins. Nigerian Army canvasses support of United States government on counter-terrorism. Plus, Ogun State government urges you to tap into available potentials in agricultural value chain. Police says it has commenced search and rescue operation involving the deployment of ground and area assets to locate and rescue the students of government girls secondary school Gangebe, Zamfara State. A statement by the force indicates that the Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu has ordered the deployment of 2 operational surveillance helicopters to Zamfara State. This in addition to the personnel of Operation Puff Ada 2 earlier deployed to the state to support efforts by the command to combat banditry, kidnapping, and other related crimes. The IGP, while condemning the abduction of the innocent female students, assured that the police and other security forces will not relent until the abducted students are successfully rescued and reunited with their families. The IGP has also called for calm and enjoined members of the public, particularly the people of Zamfara State, not to hesitate in availing the law enforcement community with useful information to assist in the rescue of the abducted schoolgirls. Meanwhile, the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has condemned the attack on government girls' secondary school, Gangebe in Zamfara State, where hundreds were abducted. In a statement by the special advisor to the president of the Senate on media and publicity, Senator Lawan expressed sadness and outrage that the incident happened while efforts were still being made to rescue those abducted just over a week ago at another secondary school in Kagara, Niger State. The Senate president said the recurrent attacks on schools and other acts of banditry called for intense soul searching on how the nation arrived at this sorry state and how to catch the monster of violent crimes in Nigeria. He urged the authority to, at all levels, to work together to ensure their immediate rescue. He also reiterated his call on the state authority to accord priority to securing schools and other locations now seen as soft targets by savage criminals. Now in Ogun State and talking school security, a stakeholders committee on security activity the safety of students has been inaugurated in Ekwafon by the Ogun State government. Tope Alabi reports that this is in line with the government directive on the need to strengthen security in
Governor Nta Abeokuta, in a letter dated January 21, 2021, through his special advisor on security, Olusola Zubeb, directed the State Commissioner for Education, with the assistance of the Commissioner of Police, to provide adequate security for all the schools in the state. The directive is sequel to cases of recurring attacks and abduction of some school children in some parts of the country as a way of preventing such eventuality in the state. Ekwafon is one of the 5 local government areas which constitute Ogun West Senatorial District that share extensive borders with Benin Republic. This town hall meeting here in Imeko is to address salient issues bordering on how to strengthen security architecture in schools and also to raise consciousness of parents, teachers, education managers, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and various security agencies on the need to take responsibility. The outcome of the meeting is the inauguration of this committee, which has roles to monitor and review security architecture in schools.
Our expectation from the committee is that they will perform up to the expectation. We've been hearing about kidnapping of children in schools, and we think we putting this in place, our God's special grace, they will do the thorough job.
With the porous borders and the forest bushes around us, I think it is very, very important for us to gather like this and to inaugurate a committee that will safeguard our children.
The DPO have told us that we shall be meeting monthly. At least throughout in the course of our meeting, we provide a stable solution for the security of our.
In place, it is expected that holistic and proactive approach will be taken to ensure that there is security and safety for the 124 schools across Ekwafon. In Imeko, Tope Alabi, NTA News.
Ogun State government says its various agricultural training programs across the state are targeted at making the state food basket and, more importantly, to tackle unemployment by exposing the youth to abundant opportunities inherent in agriculture. Ogun State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, stated this at a two-day workshop on aquaculture value chain actors. Akim's Jimo's report is presented in this package.
Apart from its nutritional value and unique taste as fish, aquaculture is a commercial fish farming business that can be easily reared in tanks until they are ready for commercial purposes. However, one of the bottlenecks in fish farming is on how to link young entrepreneurs to raw materials which are used for feeds, including market opportunity. This is why the workshop is described as eye-opener for young farmers who are willing to take advantage of the opportunity to be self-reliant.
Agriculture is about lowering cost of production and increase efficiency so that people will make profit and consumers will also buy at a relatively cheaper rate. So this is the goal of agriculture in Ogun State, to link our young farmers to technology, to input, and to prosperity. This is also very good for stimulating the interest of youth in agriculture. They are also able to support the youth farmers who acquire their own. So, and then we have linked them to a sustainable source of input. So some of them will also go in future to own something that is bigger than this.
Aside this, the state government is also targeting at boosting productivity in farming and industrialization through agriculture to step up its economic base.
Since they've keyed into this, we are likely going to have less crisis in Ogun State because people will be gainfully employed. They will engage themselves in one thing or the other. They will make their own money independent and outside the government structure, and they'll be comfortable.
If need is gotten right by virtue of price and quality, we can see that there will be profitable enterprises in that particular business. People going to fishery with this kind of quality of fish with a competitive price, it means that they are going to have results.
Participants are appreciative of the initiative.
Never knew that we have it here in Ogun State, and I think that this is an eye-opener. It shows that there's a lot of opportunity. It has also exposed us to new technology.
We might just be thinking of fizzling out of the business, looking at the circumstances surrounding that we have to incur in feeding. But with this training, we have been exposed to so many things, very, very educative, and I must say we have really learned a lot.
Over 700 young farmers across Ogun State turned up for the workshop.
This year's International Mother Language Day, celebrated on the 21st of February 2021, have come and gone. However, Ogun State indigenes have called on government and other relevant authorities in the state to initiate ways to preserve local languages and cultures from going into extinction. Correspondent takes a look at the impact of the day on preservation of local languages.
Record shows that both school children and some literate Nigerians struggle to speak fluently their local languages. In schools too, Nigerian education system does not include multilingual curriculum to teach pupils in their indigenous languages and in pari passu with official languages.
Mother tongue is the best. There is no way you can think fast from the way you have been brought up. The language of first experience is what you can use easily, is what you can use to act and to think very fast. And that will assist in learning.
To worsen the situation, parents and guardians who are to speak their local dialect to these children at homes are saying no to vernacular while at home, thereby shutting out their children from understanding and speaking the language. And so, to mark this year's International Mother Language Day in Ogun State, school children clad in their native attire to domicile the tribe they represent, and more importantly, to preserve their cultures.
When you speak some good English, maybe okay, telling big grammars, when you come down to their level in the local language, some students they will pick very well, and it is so much good when you use some mother tongue, some let me say some Yoruba statements to pass across messages to the children. And I will implore the government, even the environment at large, they should please let's inculcate this language into our children.
Now, if you look at it, the children they already know get used to our food, our local food. The greetings is important, and our dressing. So we need this to inculcate this in the generation to come, so that we have all our culture are very important.
So we wear the clothes we came from of our culture. We celebrate our culture day to day.
Stakeholders advocate inclusion of Yoruba language among other compulsory subjects as prerequisite for admission into tertiary institutions, and also to initiate enlightenment programs to encourage parents in speaking indigenous language to their children at homes.
The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, is seeking the support of the United States of America in the quest to establish a full-fledged Nigerian Army aviation to further enhance the ongoing counter-terrorism campaign in the Northeast. A statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Publicity to the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Abdulkadir, says the bilateral request was a sideline from a visit of the Commander U.S. Africa Command, General Stephen Townsend, to the Ministry of Defense headquarters in Abuja. The statement notes that the minister commended the U.S. for its military support to Nigeria and the progress recorded in supply of Super Tucano aircraft, Thunderbolts for maritime operations and logistics to the multinational Joint Task Force. The visiting Commander, U.S. AFRICOM, General Stephen Townsend, expressed gratitude to Nigeria's leading role in Africa's sub-regional security affairs and commiserated with Nigeria over the recent aircraft mishap that claimed the life of 7 crew. Effort to end kidnapping, banditry, and community need for traditional rulers to be assigned constitutional roles has again been brought to the fore. Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akunbi Oluwo of Iwo, who made the call after a court visit on the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, said traditional rulers should be appropriately recognized for them to be able to address issues before they lead to ethnic or communal crises. Also commenting on the farmers' elder clashes, the Iwo monarchs should be trained and encouraged to adopt modern methods. State NGD Onifade reports that the traditional ruler also recommended improvement of welfare for the police and monitoring of the nation's border to put an end to arms and small weapons proliferation in the country. "50 persons who violated the COVID-19 protocols have been arrested and prosecuted before a mobile court in Ijebu, the area of Ogun State." The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Oluwatoyin Taiwo, vowed to ensure strict enforcement of the protocols in order to stem the rising cases of COVID-19 in Ogun State. Joel Okuola has the report.
In a bid to stem the tide of rising cases of COVID-19, government instituted a mobile court to try violators of the COVID-19 safety protocols. The government train was in Ijebu with security operatives and mobile court to arrest and arraign people found guilty of not wearing face masks in public places within the metropolis. Convicts were said to have violated the COVID-19 Health Protection Regulation 2021 signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. Some of the violators who were convicted after engaging in supervised community service. Addressing newsmen after the judgment, the Honorable Commissioner for Culture, who led the state task force on the enforcement of COVID-19 protocols, vowed that the task force will not be deterred in ensuring that the virus.
When we started work on Monday, we found out that all over the state, the compliance level has increased. But when we got to Ijebu at this axis, we found out that their compliance level is very, very low.
Some respondents also lauded government steps in stemming the rise of COVID-19 in the state.
So if they can continue like this, it serves a greater deterrent for people. It's very good for how the government is compulsory it because it's for the benefit of us.
It is expected that with the government step, people will take the use of face masks as a way of life and all other COVID-19 safety protocols. In Ijebu, Joel Ukwola, NTA News.
And on sports tonight, National Principals Cup begins in Lagos. Over now to our sports correspondent from the Sports Corner.
Time to take a look at some trending sports stories. I am Nta Abeokuta. We begin with volleyball. COVID-19 safety protocols top the agenda as preparations are intensified ahead of the Under-18 and Under-19 Boys Africa Cup of Nations at Indoor Sports Hall of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, from 1st to 9th March 2021.
The seats have been tagged and spaced as required by the COVID-19. And if you check, that's the hand washing. And apart from that, we are going to have the sanitizer.
To football now, the much anticipated National Principals Cup competition finally got underway on Friday with Igbobi College Lagos and Government College Kaduna trading tackles in the ceremonial curtain raiser at the Agege Stadium, Lagos. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Diary at the event, expressed optimism that the competition will help discover future stars for the country. Still on football, the Nigeria Professional Football League enters March the 13th this weekend with 10 matches to be played at different venues across the country. Leaders Kano Pillars play away to Aqua Starlets. Jigawa Golden Stars will entertain Ayimba, while Sunshine Stars and Adamawa United will do battle. Similarly, the Premier League will again be live on NTA this weekend with two teams in desperate need of 3 points. West Brom and Brighton facing off at the Houghton's on Saturday. The match will be live on NTA Network from 3:30 in the afternoon. And finally, last season's semi-finalist Manchester United will face AC Milan in a mouth-watering last 16 tie of the UEFA Europa League, with Arsenal facing Olympiacos. Friday's draw also pitted Tottenham with Dinamo Zagreb, while AS Roma and Shakhtar Donetsk have a date. And that concludes this update. I am Nta Abeokuta.
Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. Good night.